20-year-old Amilcar Perez Lopez was a Guatemalan migrant who had come to work in the United States and send cash back to his impoverished family. He found relative good fortune in San Francisco, a cot in a boiler room to sleep on, and steady construction work for an Anglo boss who remembers him as, quote, a hard-working, mild-mannered guy who never got into any confrontations. He began to send money home. He was his family's sole breadwinner. On February 26, 2015, two plainclothes police officers, Eric Raboli and Craig Tiff, rushed to a call about men squabbling on the sidewalk on Folsom Street in the Mission District. One of the officers tried to grab Amilcar Perez Lopez from behind as he was walking from a man he had accused of stealing his bicycle. It is not at all clear that Perez Lopez realized his assailants were cops. He spoke almost no English. He may have waved a knife during the earlier altercation. Witnesses insist he then broke away and was running when the officers shot him in the back. According to an interview with one of the witnesses, quote, he didn't realize they were police. When they tried to grab him, he got away. They told him to drop the weapon. He dropped the weapon on the sidewalk. After that, they shot him. The location of the bullet wounds in his back was eventually confirmed by a private autopsy. As is common in so many police shootings, officers claimed Perez Lopez had threatened them. This young man was all of 5 feet tall and weighed 131 pounds. Trust in the police department is extremely weak in the neighborhood. Consequently, it took over a year and much reassurance for the roommate witnesses to come forward. They too are undocumented laborers who feared for their lives after seeing their friend shot. Community activists demanded that the San Francisco District Attorney, George Gascon, who I have spoken about last year here, charge the police officers in Perez Lopez's death. For 2 years, DA Gascon temporized, saying the case was under review. Activists marched through the streets and picketed the Mission District Police Station every Wednesday for over a year. They also took the demand for a resolution to Gascon's home and left explanatory flyers for his neighbors. In April 2017, Gascon announced the officers would face no charges for taking this man's life. The Guatemalan consulate provided an attorney to represent Perez Lopez's family in a civil suit. Unhappily, police killings of dubious merit are all too frequent in the city. The city settled with the family in April 2018 for an undisclosed sum. Mission District activists who helped support the family after Amilcar's death have recently been pleased to learn that his family has been able to build a more durable dwelling and younger sons are working in Guatemala. The company has memorialized Amilcar with a building-sized mural in the Mission District. The police chief during this episode and several other apparently unjustified killings, Greg Suhr, who I also spoke about last year, was driven from office in May 2016. George Gascon may have rendered himself unre-electable in San Francisco, but decamped to Los Angeles, where he won office as a, quote, progressive DA in 2020. Some of you may be familiar with the New York Times columnist Charles Blow. He wrote the following: when I heavily covered the cases of black people killed by the police, I would explain to the family members I was interviewing the angle of the column. I wasn't there to litigate the cases. I was there to breathe life back into the dead bodies. I was there to render them whole, as complete human beings who loved and were loved. I was there to force my readers to see them as people. I was there to rescue them from just being a number, to rescue them from just being another. Let's kneel, please, for Amilcar for 9 minutes and 29